What's up, everyone? So today I was asleep and I had several thoughts going through my head, and something really hit me and something woke me up to tell me to basically make this video. So I'm going to talk about, probably controversial, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm doing this out of love, the social constructs of Huntsville and the impacts of your environment. So I'm gonna start off with here. So a lot of the people in the community, I'm pretty sure you remember that there used to be a barbershop here. I think you had a beauty shop right next to it as well. Also, I was told from my grandparents there was other black businesses in the area that used to be here as well. I think further down the street you had a barbershop that's no longer there. You still have the Roxy Douglas Learning Institute that's still here and things like that. But what I'm trying to tell you is a lot of the black businesses that were originally in this area location are no longer here. There's been a dramatic change throughout time, to the point that if you ask some of the younger generation coming behind us, I guarantee if you ask them if there was a shop here, they wouldn't have a clue. So this is just the first part of what I'm trying to show you when it comes to social constructs and your impacts of your environment. What's the message that's being sent here when you have businesses that were originally here and now they're gone? Not to mention the impacts of the environment. What is that telling the families and the people in the community and things like that? I also look around. You have a nice park that I pretty much run around. We have sidewalks and things like that. You have maintenance that tries to take care of this area and things like that. I'm telling you these details for a reason, because your environment impacts you in so many different ways. So this is the first part. All right, what's up, everyone? Now I'm here at the park, and this is a place where you have a lot of great community events to impact the community and do a lot of great things. But I want you to pay attention to the area. Okay, first let me go ahead and explain social constructs real quick. So social constructs, for example, you see how I'm holding this phone vertically, up and down. I can guarantee you someone was probably looking at this video right now saying like the correct way to shoot a video is horizontal. So something or somebody has told you that you should shoot video at all times this way, horizontal, than vertically. So that is like a social construct that somebody told you. So that is basically the good explanation of that. Also, again, I'm talking about the impact of the environment. So great park, a lot of community things, events that's going on and things like that that's good for the community. But I want you to pay attention to a lot of amount of details. And I'm bringing this up for a reason. So as you walk down the park and things like that, we can see little things, probably like little cigarette butts, saw like alcohol beverages and things like that on the ground in the park. You have a couple of trash things and things like that that's on the ground and things of that nature. You have glass right here all on the ground and things like that. Usually when it comes, the city does a good job of keeping things clean, things like that. But at this park, I see a little bit more trash than usual in this area. I love doing a lot of great things in this park. It's a great thing, way we bring people together and things like that. But I'm bringing attention to these little details. So, like, what does this show you? Of course, it can show you the great things that are coming together and working and providing for the community, which is a big, huge plus. But at the same time, we have goals with the nets that are kind of cut and things like that. You see there's trash on the court. I don't know if you can see it like that. but just little details, and I'm showing you for a reason because I'm gonna believe like this should be like the nicest park in the entire area, especially if it's behind Martin Luther King, because we want to show something of great pride and things like that. But I'm seeing little stuff like that. Like, what are we showing? Like, are we getting ourselves uh, used to having things not always the nicest way? Are we used to having trash in our life sometimes and things like that? Like, again, I'm doing this out of love just to show you a couple of things so you can get where I'm kind of coming from and how the impact of your environment can really dramatically change your life. Now I want to show you a quick video of this. So right now we have gas stations that now have bars behind them. So another quick little detail I want you to catch, because originally you had gas stations that didn't have bars on them and such like that, and now we're having gas stations with bars, like as if there's a threat in the area and things like that. So it's little things like that can send a message to people, like, okay, are you sending like this should be an area that you should be concerned of security and things like that. Like in other stores, you don't really have like the bars on the windows and things like that. You usually have like that in like a lot of areas where there's probably like a lot of crime rate and things like that. So just think about the impact, the community, of the mindset when you're living in these kind of situations. All right, what's up? I'm here at this other location. Of course, we know if you see this, I believe it's the Raven. We're here at Sam Houston State University. So I want you to see something real quick. This area is constantly changing. Like a couple of years ago, Sam Houston did not look like this at all. So you have, of course, this newer building right here. I just found out they had this parking garage that wasn't here as well. There used to be a street that used to go all the way down in this direction, and now you have sidewalks and things like that going uphill and things like that. So this is an environment where you have fresh new ideas, innovation that keep this place well maintenance and things like that, and keep it clean. It's a great place for learning and much more. So just wonder or just think of like the impact that will have on somebody when they're around this kind of environment. It's nice, it's clean, it's innovative. You always have new things coming up. It welcomes people from like all different backgrounds and things like that. It presents itself really well and things like that. So what is this telling a person that is right or wrong? It can be like, okay, I should feel very confident or highly on myself. I should feel or treat myself at the best way I can. I should stay clean, nice. I should talk highly of others and things like that. But at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and address this situation. Like when you're in these environments like this, you have people who probably never went to this area or may unintentionally create a division. I'm going to go and address the situation where you have, I'm just going to be raw and come with it. People who graduated with degrees, you got, book smarts, and then you have people that come with a vision when it comes to street smarts. So there's nothing wrong with either or. Both are very needed to get established and get ahead in life. But it's the viewpoint of two different worlds from this environment, from someone who has come from the streets, that sometimes there's a clash. And again, I will say there is nothing wrong with either perspective. But at the same time, this environment can teach you this different things of what's right and wrong to care about or carry yourself in life. And the street can tell you certain ways to carry yourself or treat yourself in life and things like that. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But this is why you have conflict, because there is a clash at times because of different ways people see the world and things like that. So the moral construct of this environment compared to the streets is completely different, which can sometimes lead to disagreements. All right, now I have my next location. So now we're over here. This is where one of the, well, you can probably like drop into the comments below of which one this is, because there's multiple. But this is just one of the prisons that is located in Huntsville. So we know there's always been reference to Huntsville like Prison City and things like that. I forgot how many prisons we got in this area, but we got a lot of them. TDCJ actually employs a lot of different people in Walker County for employment for a job and things like that. So this the city of Huntsville has a high employment rate when it comes to hiring people for, I think, the correctional, uh, well, like the guards and basically things like that. That's like one of the heavy employments that's in this area. So with that said, like, what is the possible impact, or what can be the thought process of when somebody who is working in that environment at a lot of times, or if the use or the main employment or job opportunity is either working in the prisons. Now we all have thoughts like, oh, I'm never going to a prison, things like that. But what happens when you have a an area where the high employment rate is prisons? And not knocking them out, because it employs a lot of people, gives them a great amount, gives them jobs and things like that. Because in this area, you have mostly people who work at fast food chains, local small businesses, and things like that. But a lot of people, once they graduate from high school, they work straight at the prisons in this area. So what do you think that's going in their minds between what is right and wrong when you're constantly in an environment like that all the time, versus like the other environments, for example, when like at the university, where you have a very nice clean environment, you want to speak um, or treat yourself a different way because of how the environment feels, or like at the location where I was at, the park, a great community park where you have a lot of great things going on of that nature and much more. But you have areas where you have bars, uh, things on the windows for like protection, showing like there may be a threat. You also have things going on, like you have a little bit more trash than usual on like parts of the grounds, like beer bottles and things like that. Um, Again, it's a gray area and things like that, but I'm bringing attention to you, like little details, like even at the basketball court, I love to hoop and things like that, but the nets were kind of broke. You had some of like pot cutting and things like that. So it's just little things like that I want you to remember and keep in mind for like what's that telling a person, or how can that environment impact somebody? Of course, in that kind of environment, they can get a lot of great street smarts and things like that. But at the same time, being in that kind of environment can make somebody live in a lot of self-defense to protect themselves, because they always got to be the lookout, because they never know who they can trust. Versus like in a university, your guard's probably a little bit more down, because now you can pretty much open up and you can trust people. You got people from different countries coming to a university setting where they learn and educate others and things like that. So be mindful of that as I continue with this video. All right, Huntsville, in the last location for this video. Basically telling you that different areas when it comes to social constructs and things like that, to make you think and discuss with other families and much more. As we clearly see here, I have over here the golf course. We have the lake over here. And this is a well-established neighborhood as well. You have a lot of different houses. The maintenance is upkeep very well and things like that. So while I'm showcasing this area, I want you to think about how like different vibes or energy, uh, or what the thoughts can be like when you're in this kind of environment. It's very peaceful, quiet, um, very nice. You have a lot of people, I think, such as doctors and stuff that's like this in this area where you can talk to from things like that. And this is all different kind of environments. So just imagine um, the thoughts of, or where you can go when you constantly hang around people that want things such as this. And like I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with the other previous environments, but there comes a difference when it comes to perspective of what people think, which is right or wrong based on the environment they grew up in. It's like, for example, the things such as, and it's going to be completely transparent, like money. That subject right there, when you ask that question to people in this area, can be completely different from the values of money from people from the streets, of how they view to obtain it, how to grow it, and things like that. Also, I will go ahead and put in this room, just for your information, keep in mind you never really see well-established neighborhoods and things like this. basically close to a church. Yeah, I just said that. That's a subject for a whole nother day, but I just want to put that in there. But keep in mind, the area that you grow up in, your coaches, your neighbors, your teachers, your parents, education, all that and much more basically help you to understand the world and form your values of what you believe is right or wrong. Or is it right or wrong just because you grew up differently? But I want you to keep that in mind because I guarantee you that the values and the way people view the world is different from someone who completely comes from the streets. Is that person here or is this person from the streets wrong from the other? Or is it just their perspective on how they view life, which they have the right to? So I want you to keep that in mind because all social constructs basically form your reality and basically guide you to how you should live your life. So this is a whole educational video I want to showcase to start the discussion on the importance of your environment because your environment is everything along with the people that you surround yourself with because that is what helps you or forms your view of life. So it's Chris Holmes, C. Holmes, out of here. I know a lot of these subjects were probably a little touchy, but someone had to do it, so I went ahead and with it anyway. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on Street Topics because your voice matters and keep the voice going. Peace.